And the estate section is really going to look at their current estate situation versus a suggested estate situation. So starting off with their estate details, this is going to list any of the estate strategies that they already have in place and give them what their net worth is for estate planning purposes. And then we're going to have a graphical view of what their taxable estate would be in the current year if individual 1 were to die first, or if individual 2 were to die first, and what their tax situation might be for their current situation or with trust situation. In this case, there's not too much to see. They don't owe any estate taxes in either case with just under an $800,000 estate. But it does go through the numbers here, so you can see a detail of how those estate taxes are calculated. This first column is looking at if individual 1 were to die in the current year, followed shortly by individual 2's death. So we can see the without trust column and then the with trust column, and the with trust column is going to move anything it can into a credit shelter trust and any insurance into an ILET. So that's the difference between those two columns that you see here. Again, there's really no estate taxes due in this situation. They do have a little gain if they take advantage of a credit shelter trust and an ILET, which is in this case purely saving them on administration type costs between their estate projections. The program's also going to detail out what we just saw on the numbers page in a flowchart, which can be a little bit easier to read, so we can see everything that makes up individual 1's estate that gets passed through marital transfer to individual 2. And we do the same thing for the next individual if Karen were to die first. We have the same flowchart, except for this is modeling that with trust situation, which is going to fund a credit shelter trust and move insurance into an ILET. The program will also evaluate estate costs for every year in the future, so it might be a situation where they don't have a big estate situation now, but they might be running into it, especially if their assets are growing in the future projections. So you can see year by year, maybe they don't have a current situation, but it's something that they might need to plan for in the future. And then we give some more information with graphs of how those estate taxes might be changing over time. There's several estate illustrative type reports, so these are going to be helpful reports if it's an area that you want to discuss with your client. They're purely illustrations, so they're not modeling anything specific, but they're good informational type pages. So the last set of estate reports are these estate planning options pages. This allows you to evaluate a specific age of death. If we look back at our input here, under estate values tab, you can enter in an illustration age of death. And you can also enter in gifting. When you enter this information, it's going to be used purely for this set of estate planning options pages. So look specifically at that year and include gifting. It gives you a illustrative type report as well, a graphical report. So then we can see some more detailed breakdown of how their assets and the values used for the estate planning reports are projected each year going forward.